darlings, and welcome to another Arteagan Weekly Bread, your spiritual board meeting with me, Madame President of the Arteagan, Natalee, spelled Natalee. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another beautiful week of life. Feel free to stay for all of the psychic tarot and astrology reports. Feel free to skip ahead as you are guided. I hereby officially call this meeting to order. Okay, so President's Report. Guys, I am so excited for this lunar penumbral eclipse video to come out. I don't know if I'm going to publish it before this one comes out or after this one. I haven't really decided yet. Check it out. It's way awesome and super cool though. I worked really hard on it and it would mean a lot to me if you guys checked it out. But for real, guys, it's really cool. It's really fun. Loads of information, loads of helpful, useful information of how to channel this eclipse energy, what it means. It's a big deal. We're entering into a really big deal, really big time for humanity and for you. This is about you and how this is changing your life that you chose to incarnate here to witness all these incredible changes taking place in humanity. You're experiencing it for your own purpose, for your own soul's growth. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. It means a lot. Okay, let's go right into the astrology report. So you guys, basically this week ahead, we have a couple of different things happening. We mostly, the overall milieu energy is going to be like from December 1st to December 10th. We have Venus from 17 degrees of Scorpio trining Neptune at 18 degrees of Pisces. So Neptune being the higher octave of Venus, what does that mean, Natalee? That means that it's double the vibration. It's even more strong, more powerful, more Venusian. And so this can be very inspiring with anything having to do with creativity, love, romance, compassion, empathy, creativity, children of the mind, heart, like talent, and body even. You can be really, really kind. You can be very compassionate. You can be just inspired to be wonderful and all of those things. So that's like overall. It could also be deceptive. It could also be very illusory. That's the quality of it, and you will really want to check out the lunar eclipse video to like get more about that Neptunian energy. But that's kind of like the blanket for the first 10 days of December, so that it definitely includes this week. We have a major shift. We have Mercury shifting into Sagittarius on December 1st. And I'm changing my format. I'm not going to do a video for every single station, every single ingress. It really does make more sense to read things as a whole, and that's a big deal with astrology, is that you really do need to blend, and that's where a lot of the talent lies with professional like astrologers and then like astro heads like moi. And so that's one way you can determine the quality and the talent of anyone that's into astrology. So when that happens, the shift, I feel like that's when we really escape the Mercury retrograde, is when Mercury leaves the sign that he was retrograding in. And in this case, it was Scorpio and entering into Sag. So that's my 2 cents. Or rather, since we're about to enter into Aquarius, that's my 2 Satoshis. Let's take a look at what Mercury in Sagittarius is doing. So Mercury in Sagittarius is actually going to be forming 2 Antishas, or Antiseas. It's a new thing I just learned about, and I talk more about it in the lunar eclipse video, so make sure to check that out once again. This is basically the equal distance on either side of the solstice points, Sagittarius, Capricorn. It kind of keeps going, but I'm just going to be talking about, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Is that real or is it just on my screen? No, it was real. It's gone. And what that basically means, it's actually going to be 3. It's going to be Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. This is going to be kind of a big deal. There's something hidden. There's something unseen, an unseen opportunity, something that is like in the shadows and kind of lurking. And there's like this secret sameness between Mercury and Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter and Capricorn. And you know, this is like right before everything moves into Aquarius. So I feel like there could be things happening behind closed doors, secret conversations, secret thoughts, secret ideas, plans. There's something happening here. I'm not sure how it's gonna like, but it's there and it's operating. So you're either a part of it or it's happening in your life somewhere. And this could be something that goes by without you capitalizing on it, or it could be something that you can mine and you can like capitalize on. So check out wherever Sagittarius, Capricorn is in your chart, because that's how I talk about it in the Gemini lunar eclipse video, is like the mind trick, like overcoming, like cracking the mind trick is getting through this Neptunian fog and Neptunian haze. It's kind of similar with this first week of the month with this Antisha or this Antisea. There's something hidden in your mind or in your speech, in your words, in your communications. But if you crack it, if you figure it out, it could actually be something extremely empowering for you with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter and Capricorn, right as they're about to move forward and move on and bring us into the age of Aquarius. In my excitement, I forgot to mention the most important part of this intuition is that it is Mercury involved. So what that means is that it's going to either be something potentially coming to light this week, that you hear about someone talking behind your back, gossiping about you, saying some messed up stuff about you. Or if you had done that to someone in the past, that could come up, they could find out this week, that could come to light. So there's that kind of going on where it's either happening, it's coming to light, this intuition are forming. So it's like, let's just see how that goes. Also, that the lunar eclipse video will be coming out after the weekly bread. Okay, so there's that. And I talk more about Antiseas and Antishas in the lunar eclipse video. Then this week, another kind of like, I keep saying like jelly, but I know it's not jelly. A layer, let's call it a layer to this cosmic little cocktail of a week this week. We have Mercury in Sagittarius trining Chiron in Aries. So there can be conversations that are awkward, but ultimately very healing. And remember that healing happens through pain and through happiness. So there could be a way of asserting yourself that you're not very comfortable with, or that there's like an idea or something mental or something idealistic even that you want to communicate, or that you are communicating, but maybe in a very awkward way, or you just feel awkward about it. Chiron is where we have a wound that never heals, and it's like all we can do is heal that wound in other people. So when you do that, that's like the best way you feel better about that wound, but in yourself, it'll never heal. We all have that in some way, shape, or form in our charts. And this week, the wound is in Aries, and that's how we get what we want, self-directed activity, how we initiate, how we begin. Mars is like still being matured and like slapped down by Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Capricorn. So he's not entirely happy. And with Chiron there, I just feel like this is an opportunity to be humbled and to humbly communicate our way out of that awkwardness, which Mercury and Sag should bring a lot of communication out. Like that's like, I have my Venus in Sagittarius, and I just like, I'm an introvert, so I usually don't talk to anybody, but like with the internet, I would love to live in the internet if I could. I would totally just upload myself into the internet and just live there and just bounce around. So I talk a lot to you guys, but that's different. And so when I meet someone that like I like or that I really vibe with, then it's like, it's totally different. Like in real life, like you guys are my internet people. You guys are my internet, you know, vibe tribe family. But like people in real life that have known me throughout my life, I'm like the person, the creepy person in the corner that like doesn't say anything. And they don't know what I think about stuff. They have no idea. They just project onto me and like that's it. So that's kind of like what I feel this is that this Mercury trining Chiron in Aries, that's a lot of communication. Like that's a lot of healing communication. So you could be very idealistic or enthusiastic, or something can be really coming through. Who does this? I don't usually do this with my cord. I feel like someone has like some nervous tension that they just like, I don't know what that is. I never do that. You guys never even see me do that. So that's basically your week in a nutshell. Okay, well, Sunday, I'll just give you a little preview into the next week. Sunday begins this influence of the Sun and Sag squaring Neptune and Pisces, which happens on Wednesday the 9th. But we're going to start to feel it like on Sunday. So keep in mind that next Monday is also the waning, losing in light quarter moon in Virgo. So there's going to be an adjustment. There's going to be a little crisis in consciousness. We have to change our way of thinking, change our maybe perceptions or ideas or ideals or how we thought something was going to go, and just go with the flow. So by Sunday, by this weekend, you can maybe even be feeling that Sun square Neptune, where it's either a burst bubble, something doesn't really happen the way you want it to happen, or you can start to be feeling like extremely inspired. It's like a tense energy. It's a tense energy, and it could be very spiritual. It could be like needing to surrender the ego, needing to evolve the ego, but just keep that in mind. This is right on the heels of the quarter moon, the crisis in consciousness from this penumbral lunar eclipse anyway. So watch that reading or watch that video, and then if you're a patron, you know you've seen you will see the 12 sign breakdowns, and watch for your sun, moon, rising, so that you know where these energies and how they're interacting in the different areas of your life, so that Sun square Neptune next week doesn't like throw you and really rock you. Because you may have to dissolve your ego a little bit, you know, and live in your soul and not your personality, because your personality is not really who you are. Your reputation is not really who you are. Your soul is you. Okay? And that's about it. Okay, let's shift gears into the psychic report. So the download that I have for you is kind of bittersweet. I heard it and it just really struck me, kind of like if someone, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, if they like rang the bell like right next to you and you're like, you know, it's like that. That's how it got me. I was like, gah. It's mine to keep. Mine to keep. Something's not mine to keep. And there's like a sadness there. There's some kind of, I don't know. It's sad though. It really felt sad. And honestly, it's like kind of, this could be the Sun square Neptune too. Wanting to hold on to something and knowing that it's not really yours. It's something like that. Mine to keep. So let's see what that's all about. Let's shift gears again into the tarot report. Okay, we're using my super psychic Radiant Wise tarot deck. This is like my most psychic deck. Let's see what we've got going on. Oh, you know, Mercury and Sag, that's definitely not the ownership. Sagittarius is not about like owning stuff, more about freedom. And Capricorn is all about possessing and owning. And so this secret sameness, this secret opportunity, something hidden being revealed here, could be related. Ooh. Okay, let's take a look. Cutting the deck. And here we go. Oh, first card out, Two of Cups. Oh my God, this is weird. Oh boy, oh my God. Okay, Five of Cups, the bottom of the deck. Six of Wands, Ten of Wands. So, my darlings, it looks like you've got some issues to work through this week. That's okay. That's okay. We all have issues to work through this week. There's a burden. There's something heavy. Heavy on your mind, heavy on your heart, heavy on your soul. A regret. You could realize that you've been taking someone for granted. You could realize that you've been devaluing yourself. You could realize that you've been taking on more than you need to. Or you could realize where your pride buried you in. Ouch. I'm telling you right now, I've been through so many ego deaths. Like, I just didn't know there were so many that I was going to go through in my life. Like, I had no idea. Sorry, I'm just like looking for my other cards. My little potato chip cards. Seriously, it's like the word. It's horrible. It's like absolutely horrible. But that's what happens when, yeah. That's another thing that I want to talk about just very briefly about Sun square Neptune and why it could be a good thing to dissolve your ego is because when you go through your childhood and no one gets through childhood unscathed, like it's really, really rare. You inherit ancestral issues, ancestral traumas, and you could internalize misogyny against women. You can internalize ego issues, your father's ego issues, your mother's ego issues. You can internalize all of their weird things, all of their hang-ups, all their own issues. And here's the sad part is that you could be sabotaging your life in all these different ways and not even know that that's not even your true, honest behavior, that that's not who you are, because you haven't like gotten the self-awareness to reflect and take a look and like figure this whole thing out. And it's a shame because we are these cycles, we are these records that just parrot back what we've learned, let me put it this way, every child is groomed, every single one of us. So whether our parents take responsibility and consciously groom us the right way to be confident, self-loving, individual, unique people that protect our own beautiful energies with beautiful boundaries, or whether they neglect that part of parenting and they just like whatever happens, or whether they consciously groom us destructively to accept abuse, to perpetrate abuse to others, whatever it is, we have to work as adults to undo that programming. I mean, likely if you're here watching me, that's probably it. You probably didn't have that like childhood where like everything was so great and your parents were really great people that just like groomed you perfectly to be like strong, resilient, self-loving, and gave you all the love, gave you everything you needed. No, my people, we went through hellfire. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna not like we're gonna like bash on people that had the good childhoods. That's okay. It's okay if you did. It's okay. Hi, it's like okay. I'm just saying that. Where was I even going? Oh yeah, the ego, dissolving the ego. So going through ego deaths is part of like purging out the toxicity you've inherited from the more egotistical parent or the toxic egos from either or both parents. That's like the gross part. There was a beautiful channeling, and one of the last dailies, I think, or maybe one of the weeklies, you can't have who I am. It has something to do with Mars Pluto, where anger and baiting you into responses, controlling your responses, is taking who you are away from you. And you don't want to give that power away. You don't let anyone manipulate you into a response or into a reaction. That's the trespass. That's the authority that I really get triggered by. Like, you know, it's like a boundary trespass. Trespassing a boundary there, and that's when anger gets activated. Anger serves that purpose to alert us when our boundaries are being pushed on, when they're being crossed. That's when anger is justified. When authority issues abusing their authority. What's the original authority issue? What's the original trespass of boundaries? It's the mother. People ain't ready for that conversation yet. I'm ready to talk about it, so I think I might be talking about it soon. But that's the original trespass of boundary. So when we have all these misogyny, all these misogynistic tendencies in people, through masculines, through feminines, through men, through women, whatever, I'll save that for another day. But just know that this Sun square Neptune that we're going to be feeling at the end of the weekend is going to start activating that. So we're in this beautiful, dreamy, romantic, sensual haze of this Venus Neptune. But why am I snapping? Is someone snapping their fingers a lot? Does someone do that, snap when they talk? Because I don't ever do that anyway either. So we're in that beauty, right? But now there's something authoritative. There's something that needs to be adjusted still. There's a perception issue that needs to be adjusted, either in our own egos or in dealing with another person or dealing with authority itself. Okay? So let's start clarifying some of this tarot spread. Jumping back into the tarot. So the root of this, ahead, we have the Three of Pentacles. So it is about working well with others and playing nicely with others and letting people do their thing. What I mean by that is that they each have a responsibility here. That's the artisan, this is the monk that owns the church, and this is the guy with the papers, is the one with the money. So we need all of those guys to make that happen, this beautiful cathedral or church. So that's why it's like, let everyone do their job. You hired them to do their job, so like let them do it. Don't breathe down their throat or anything like that. In the recent past, moving into this week, we have the Page of Swords. So recently there's been some spying, there's been some secretive either communication, or that's like the super secret Scorpio spy card. So you've been snooping, someone else has been snooping, creeping, lurking. Or it could be someone telling the truth. It could be someone that's like, the Page of Swords. I love the Page of Swords because it reminds me of me like so much. Like this is someone that will say the truth like no matter what, and burdens other people with the test of integrity because they said it and it's like out there now. And so other people, like the king, this is usually like the page and the king. The king's now burdened with like doing the right thing because the page just told him like this whole big thing. So it could be that too. Moving into the thick of it, we have that Two of Cups crossed by the Four of Wands. So there's something about home, love, connection, simpatico, feeling stable with someone emotionally. This could be something that's growing, being developed here, but it looks really beautiful. It looks like something that you can definitely trust. So that could be the Neptune Venus, where you realize like, oh my God, there's like a real connection here. Or it's like this friendship is so, it's like your saving grace, whatever's going on in your life. Maybe there's like a friend or a work friend or something that's just really like, this is my person. This is like, my ride or die, you know. The next energy that you move into this week at some point is the Judgment. This is like a work well done, a life well lived. This is also resurrection energy. So there could be a resurrection of an opportunity, or it could be just time to make a big decision. So let's go ahead and see what that is. This is why I do this, so you can see it. Literally, Judgment came out to clarify the Judgment. And this is the very first card. So, any math heads out there? Out of 78 cards, what was the likelihood that I was going to shuffle and pop out the one card that I was trying to clarify and get more information on. So this is a really big deal. And I mean, for more information, on the bottom of the deck, there is the Two of Wands. So it is about choosing a person. Choosing a person for the right job to work with or to do life with. Choice is yours. But with Venus, Neptune, you're so inspired. And with Venus in Scorpio, it's hot and heavy. It can be hot and heavy for some of you, but I'm just saying, like, that's just like authentic. Like, only the authentic will do. You don't want anything superficial anyway, trust me, okay? I mean, you don't have to trust me, but I'm just saying, like, only what's real, what matters. Real great, Natalie. I'm just kidding. Okay, where you are now, the role that you're currently playing, or what's in your immediate surrounding environment. We have the Chariot, so you're super hyped up, amped up for something. There's something that you're driving towards. It's either your own self-awareness and increasing your self-knowledge so that you can steer this Chariot, because these two Sphinxes, they will give you this riddle. They'll riddle me this. And if you cannot answer it, if you're the Charioteer and you cannot answer it correctly, and it'll be a riddle about yourself, they know you ain't taking them nowhere, and they won't let you go. Or they'll let you drive it into a ditch if they think that your knowledge of yourself is so poor that you need to learn more about yourself. They'll let you drive your Chariot into a ditch, get into some trouble, and learn the hard way through pain. Or you are able to drive your Chariot because of your self-awareness, and you're steering these Sphinxes, and you're taking yourself somewhere. But that's only if you are inspired. See that canopy above his head? I love that, by the way. The blue and the white stars. That's the star card, which is that higher divine healing inspiration. So as long as you align there, and remember, watch the lunar eclipse video, because I talk about dissolving the ego in the universal solvent of Pisces, and it's quite poetic. Okay, so if you do that, you'll be okay. How other people see you, it's very interesting in this situation, or this if you're dealing with one-on-one person or one-on-one people, or in a situation at work, or where it's just like a couple people involved or one other person involved, they see you as the devil, which is really funny. Let's clarify the devil. Why is the devil here? Thank you. We have one card. The King of Pentacles. This is interesting. This is very, number one, very Capricorn, but Capricorn has to learn the hard way self-possession, self-authority, conquering any authority issues, not to focus on the material so much as the spiritual first. And so what I feel like this is the Capricorn that's learned, or is learning, how to make the world give back to him or her. So someone is seeing you as someone either chained to materialism a little bit, or still under the thumb of something, or seeing you as this is kind of dark, but controlling not other people, or not controlling someone else, but there's a connection here with that. There's a connection here with maybe an addiction, maybe it's either that, it's either everything that I've just said, or something with the dark arts. Or they can see you as having like, I'm getting this, I think it was in A Movable Feast, where he talks about Aleister Crowley walking by on the street. Like, they can see you with someone maybe a little bit dark and powerful near you, or you yourself. This is just the area of perception, so it doesn't have to be true. It's just how you're being perceived. Watch the eclipse video, because perception is reality right now, and that can lead to a whole lot of stuff. Okay, your hope, fear, or opportunity. We have the Three of Swords. So this is definitely your fears, that you'll be dejected, brokenhearted, and disappointed. But that too is another position in the tarot that's just a perception. So it doesn't have to be true. It's just revealing someone's fear. But what you get in the outcome, if this has all been resonating for you, or if it does this week after, you can watch this back after the week, is the Hierophant, commitment. So if that's what you were looking for, if you were looking to make a commitment to, this is either building something stable with someone emotionally, or the Four of Wands is a landlord card. So it's like moving, or it's usually like a wedding celebration, or a celebration at home, like throwing someone like a thing. There's commitment. So, but there's this decision. So it makes sense that this decision could, like the end all be all decision, lead to a commitment. Tell us about the Hierophant, please. The Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Very interesting. So there's a lot of busy work. This is like a lot of paperwork, or a lot of, what's that called? Like, a lot of processes, a lot of, like, you may have to really like follow the rules, or be in the institution, or follow the protocol, or it's like that. And there's like a lot of busy work, or there's like a lot of stuff to do. This would be like if you're signing contracts, or yeah, there would just be like a lot to do. Your future environment, or after this, we do have you in the Knight of Cups, which is Romeo. And that is like, you're just really, I feel like you're just really happy, enjoying this connection, enjoying what you've done, enjoying what you've built. There's a lot of like work here with this at the very base of it. And even right here, you're very like ambitious, like you're getting something going for sure. And it looks like you're being driven by either, I don't know if it's necessarily pride and ego. I think it's just a regret, some sort of regret, and some sort of burden associated with that regret. But let's just really quickly, and I only want one Moonology, and then we will close this thing. Ooh, okay, I guess we have it already. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon energy. I love it. Believe in the impossible. You know, this is the week where you can, oh my gosh, and this just flipped up. I'm just picking it up exactly how I picked it up. These two, trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. When this one shot out, it hit this one off the top of the stack and it flipped it over. This situation is calling for you to have faith, and that's exactly what this week is about. This Neptune in Pisces, and Venus in Scorpio. That's what you'll have, the faith this week. Okay, so just go for it. Of course I would say that though. Okay, I love you guys. Take really, really good care this week. Let me know what you think about the other lunar eclipse in Gemini video, and I am sending you guys all of my best photons, darlings. All of the beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads. Mwah!